Hey guys, Diane Michael here, author of After Mom Workbook and Universe Nudge, and I am wanting to talk to you today about wills. I have been posting a little bit about this, but I really want this to be something that you are aware of and that you consider for yourself and for your family. It's been 8 weeks as of yesterday that my amazing father, beautiful soul of a man, left this earth, unfortunately, unexpectedly. And I got to tell you, he did not have his affairs in order. And immediately, my brother wanted to know where the will was. I certainly wanted to know where the will was. But because my father and I were so close, I knew that there wasn't an updated will. I knew there was a will, but I knew that Jody, his second wife who passed away, unfortunately was probably the benefactor. And I know that my dad had wanted to update the will. He just hadn't gotten around to it. So we couldn't find it for weeks. Well, this past week, my brother found it, and there's a lot of contradictions in letters to me after 2010, because that's when it was written. And then there's also a lot of contradictions in other pieces of paper that we found that said less will and testament. Now, those other pieces of paper were not notarized. So they don't matter. It doesn't matter what they say, even though it's completely contradictory to the will. And it's so sad that we have to talk about these things, but when people die, I mean, if you get $25,000 more, at least the experience that I'm going through, it's like, oh, this is the one that is being filed. Now, I totally understand the legal part of it. If there's a will, it should be filed. However, I believe that things should be discussed through the family because, you know, when you have the majority of your estate going to a woman who is dead, I think that the family should discuss how that works or get attorneys involved to discuss how that works, which is what we're doing right now. But what's so unfortunate is that now we have to pay 2 attorneys. The estate is going to bleed. Our time is going to be used. Our energy, our emotions are all on high alert, and we're, super sensitive, or at least I can speak for myself. But it makes me realize that I have to get my affairs in order. I certainly am making a commitment that in 2022, in the first 6 months, I'm going to update my property deeds. I'm going to update my business affairs. I'm going to create a will. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to have someone who knows where my will is upon my death, and also my passwords. This is something that's really interesting too. If you don't tell someone where your will is, how can they find it? And it could take weeks to identify where it is if they don't know. But also passwords of all your accounts, like your password to your phone, because, we have his phone, and not that we want to look through the phone, but we can't get in it. So if there was something in there that could be of value to us, it's an Apple phone, they won't let you in. So, put down all of the passwords of all the accounts. What are all the accounts? And, if this takes a long time to do, it's just like your taxes. It's something that you need to do, should do, and it's a loving thing to do for the people that you love, and to carry out the wishes of your life and the time that you put into this world and making money, building assets, and acquiring items. Maybe you don't have very much, but maybe you have an heirloom ring from your great grandmother and you want that specifically to go to a person. Having that written down will be so wonderful to not make it a fight between people. So have a password list. Don't name it passwords. I tell all my clients this. Don't name it passwords. Name it like baby names or birthdays or something like that. But let somebody know that you trust that where the passwords are, or put them in a safety security box and make sure that someone knows here's a letter that's in a safe, and get the things from the safety security box when I die. Find a way to make sure that a trusted person knows where your wishes are, your passwords are, but that they can't access it while you're alive. The other thing that I would say to do then would be to update this annually. Because like my father's, three different letters that I found, and I know he had sent one to my brother as well. So that's 4 different that we've found so far. There are so many contradictions, it's not even funny. And I actually made a list of like, okay, this contradicts this, and this contradicts this, because things changed, from 2007 to 2010 to 2015. All these things had changed. And frankly, if he would have written a will 2 weeks before he died, it would have been different from the one that was from 2015. So it doesn't matter what we have, because it matters what's notarized and what was filed, unfortunately, already. But details at 5, because attorneys are involved, unfortunately, and the fight between the family begins, which sucks. It sucks so bad, because it should be super simple to be able to say, that was 11 years ago and we should work things out together, and go through it, line by line, contradiction by contradiction, because just because it's not notarized doesn't mean that the family doesn't know what the truth is and what the wishes of my father were in the last days and months of his world. There's a lot of agreement on that, but it's not written down and notarized, so it doesn't matter. So, this is just one of those moments for me to want to express what I'm going through and to share it with you. So get your affairs in order, because it gets messy. Update passwords, put them somewhere. Make sure that somebody knows where all of the access is to everything needed. And make sure that you put your wishes down on what you want done with your body, because within 24 hours, do you want your body just sitting there? Do you want to be cremated? Like, what do you want to do? And make sure somebody knows where to find it, because if not, then your body might just sit there and wait, which a lot of people don't mind, because they say that the soul is gone. But again, these are your wishes of everything at end of life, and we all know that every day is precious and that tomorrow is not a guarantee. So be like me, and in 6 months or less, get your will updated, get passwords written down of all of your accounts, and then make sure, like, every year that you pay your taxes, or maybe every year that you have your birthday, that you update it, just to make sure that it is valid and all the wishes are still the same, because things change, assets change. You might have paid off a car, and so now that's a new asset, or you might have bought a new house, that's a new asset. So if you have questions, feel free to PM me. I'm obviously not an attorney, and there's no legal advice in this video. However, I really feel like I'm learning so much. This is like a crash course, master course in probate and wills. And the more that I learn, I will share with you. But again, no legal advice, not an attorney. As always, lots of love to you. And thank you for watching and sharing. I'm really trying to get to 10,000 followers. So if you would maybe put on your stories or share on your feed to have your people follow Universe Nudge's page, that would be really appreciated. Thank you so much for listening.